Hi everyone, welcome to the Bioinformatics Coach channel. In this video, I am going to show you how to set column names when importing CSV files with Python Pandas. Okay, Pandas is a tool that is used to read data and then analyze data in Python. All right, so let's take a look at this scenario first before we start. Let's say you have this CSV file, all right, which is here. Now this CSV file, you have all the records, but there is no header. All right, so if you read it with Pandas with default settings, it's likely that the first record here will be used as headers. All right, so this will be wrong because these are also records, and so Pandas allows you to set your own columns when reading CSV files. So that's what I'm going to show you in this tutorial. All right, it's also possible to have a scenario whereby there are already headers, but then you may want to change the headers when you are reading using Pandas. So we are going to look at these two scenarios. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's get back to our Python environment. And by the way, if you don't have Python installed on your PC, if you don't have Jupyter Notebook, you can still run Python using Google Colab. All right. So with Google Colab, just visit this page. Okay, I'll leave the link to this page in the description box. And when you are here, just come to new notebook and then click it. So just click it, and then once you click it, you have a notebook opened for you that you can run your Python codes. All right, so let's just wait. Okay, I think it's even done now. So we have this coming up, so you can close this and then you can start typing your codes here. All right, you can also enlarge it to make things clear for you. All right, so I will shift to my local Jupyter Notebook here and I will start the exercise. Of course, we need an input data. All right, we need some example data sets. So I already have some prepared, which we can find in this GitHub repo. So the link to this repo is in the description box. I repeat, the link to this repo is in the description box. So we use it to get the example data that we will use. So let's continue. So first of all, let's import Pandas. So I'll just give this comment. There's a comment for beginners in Python. Lines that begin with hash are comments, so they are not codes to Python. All right. Now this is the actual code. So I'll say import Pandas as PD. This is going to be my first code. All right. So I'm going to run it now. All right. So I have executed this command. So we have Pandas available to us. All right, so now it's time to read the input data. So read the input data. Okay, that's what we are going to read. All right. So first of all, let's do this. Let's go to this GitHub repo. We have the example data. We don't need to download. We only need the link. I repeat, we only need the link. So if you have an internet connection, you only need the link to this data. All right. We are going to start with the first one, which is CSV1. So just click it. Okay, after visiting this page, click it. When you click it, you'll be sent to this other page here. So when you are here, what I want you to do is to come to raw. So right click and then copy the link. So there's the link that we need to open this file. There's another approach. You can still click on raw. And when you click on raw, all right, you get to this page and you can just come to this section, right click and then copy this link. It's the same thing. All right, so there's another way to get the link. All right, but if you still want to get it on your local PC, then you can still use this button here, download raw file. But I want us to use the link because it's a small file. So let's just copy the link. And then let's get back to our notebook. So first of all, I'll define my file link. So I'll say file URL equals, there should be in quotes. So there's a strange character. Okay, let's do a strange. Okay, so the link should be in double quotes. So I have placed them all here. All right, so in between these two double quotes, I'll just paste it. Alternatively, we start with a double quotes, we paste, and then we end with a double quotes. All right, so we need to make sure we have this done. All right, so that we can proceed. So this is the link that we need, the URL link. All right, so it's going to be like this. Let me just try to minimize it if it's possible. So we have it here. All right, like this. Okay, I repeat, for beginner's sake, I'll just do it again. So just have your 2 double quotes or 2 single quotes. There should be no space, and then just make sure you paste the link in there. So once you are done, you can now execute this command or this code. All right, so you just need to run it. So you can run it from these ones here. I usually have a shortcut that I use, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to execute the script. So let me just run it for you to see. So I'll just run using this one here. This is for all cells, I believe. Okay, it's for all. So let's see. Okay, I think it's fine. So you can just use this, run this cell. So this one should work fine for you. Okay, so you can click this to run that particular cell. All right, so just click it. So once you click it, it's going to run that cell for you so that you have that command. So if you want to make sure that the file URL has been obtained, you can just print file URL. So there's a command. So if you issue this command, click on run, you get the link displayed for you. So once you see this, that means that everything is fine. So now you can now read the file. Okay, so to read it, you will just say df equals, and we say pd.read CSV, because this is a CSV file, and then into bracket I'll say file URL. Okay, so if it was to be an actual file, then you need a path, but we are using the URL or the link. So I'll just click the run button to run it. All right, now if we do it this way, let's say df.columns. So we are getting to the interesting part. So if you say df.columns and you run, you will see that it's using one of the records to be specific, the first row. Let's go back here. The first row, I think I'll show it here. It's using the first row as the header or the column names. But we want something different. We want to customize the column because this data did not come with headers or column names. All right. So what we want to do is to customize this, and this is where the Pandas documentation comes in. All right. So for Pandas, if you want to use your own columns, then in the process of reading, you will specify it. So you use names. So that's what we are going to do now. So let's say customize column names. Okay, this is different from renaming it. All right, so here we are reading and then customizing the columns at the same time. So I'll just say df equals pd dot read CSV. I'm using the same variable name. All right, and then I'll specify the file URL or your file, comma, and then I'll say names equals, and I'll specify the columns I want to use. So it should be a list. Okay, it should be a list. So I'll just come. I'll say, let's say column 1 is, let's say Jin, comma. Maybe here we say P adjusted value, or let's say PA DJ. So P adjusted value. So there's some RNA-seq data, all right, comma, and there's P value, comma, and then the last one is log2 for change. So I'll just put it this way. All right, and I'll close it. All right, so this is how we are going to customize the column. So now let's run it. Perfect. So now it's done. Now I'll go over again. Sometimes maybe the names will be too long for you here, and so a simple way to also do this approach, okay, is to do this. I'll just clean this first. First, I'll say column names equals, and I'll customize the column. So using a list, okay, and I can say Gen P adjusted value, comma, P value, comma, log2 FC, comma, like this. So I'll run this to get the column names, and I'll make sure it's working. Column names. So at this stage, you can use any name of your choice. All right. If you are still not sure, you can still say column underscore names. At this stage, the names, you just have to give a name that you see fit. So it's important you take note of that. Or to put it simply, you can also say columns. That's also fine. All right, so let's even keep it with the name columns. All right, so I'm just trying to give you different scenarios so that you get a concept. All right, so you can just say columns and also run it. So when you run it columns, you can print columns. So print columns. Let me just run it. Print columns. So when you run print columns, you should get this. So once you get it, that means everything is fine. Then you can now read your df or data frame. All right, so I will say df equals pd.read CSV file URL, comma, and I will say names equals columns. So this one should be simple for you. All right, so just close your brackets and then run it. So when you run it, now it's done. So if you say df dot columns, you should get your new column names. All right, so now you have it there. So this first one here, this first row becomes a record. If you just say df dot head, let's use the first 5. You will see that it's there as a record. All right, so this now formats our data properly for us. All right, so this is how we do it. All right, with setting column names when importing CSV files in Pandas. All right, now in the GitHub page, there's another data. Let's just go back, which is here. So it's CSV2. This comes with a header already. Now, if it comes with a header already, it's still possible to customize your own column. So in that case, Pandas will just remove these and then bring your own, okay, the one that you customize. So let's even try that one. So again, let's get a link to this one. So when you are here, when you click this file, the CSV2, click it. When you come to raw, just right click, copy the link, and then let's go to the Jupyter notebook. You can also do it in Google Colab. It's fine. You'll still get it working. So just any of them should be fine. Then when you are here, now let's just say file URL2 equals. Now I'll paste this URL2. I'll run it. All right. When I run it, let me just add new cells. Now I'll come back and I'll say, let's say columns 2 equals, okay, or I don't even need to, I can use the same columns here. So here I'll just copy this. I don't need to type it, but you can still type it, that's fine. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, let's just retype it, that's fine. So I'll just say column equals gen padj p-value L2FC, or you can say log2FC. So at this stage, you can just try your own stuffs. All right. So I'll just run it. I know it's working, and I'll say df2 equals pd.read CSV. So this will be file URL2 names equals columns, and then I'll run it. So when I run it now, I'll say df2 dot columns, and I should get my columns here. Okay, so just try it and let me know how it goes. So that's how we're able to set column names when importing CSV files in Pandas. So I have other tutorials on Python, so if you are interested in that, just check the playlist here.